This week we're going to talk about mentorship. I got a request earlier this week from a viewer asking if I could talk a little bit about mentorship in terms of being a mentor and also how to be a mentee and receive feedback from a mentor and how to find a mentor. I was a bit stubborn before and didn't realize that building relationships, learning from the mistakes of others was going to significantly help my ability to grow and learn too. I wasn't really good at receiving feedback, so my first tip for today would be open to coaching, be open to feedback, because if you're not, then you are not going to be a good mentee, or you're not going to be good at someone who is receiving information. And to be honest, having been a mentor too, I don't want to mentor someone who doesn't want to learn, who's not open to coaching and open to feedback. And a big part of being open to feedback is not being defensive. So this was really tough for me because I always thought that, when I was told something that was constructive feedback, most often would not actually accept it and would say, well, because of this or that, but this or that, that's the reason that I'm acting X, Y, and Z. And really, it took a while for me just to learn to shut up and just to nod my head and say, you know what? Let me listen to what this person's saying. The second thing is also to realize that a good mentor is going to challenge you. They are going to challenge you, and it's important to be challenged, but we're often not used to being challenged. If you go to your parents or your husband or wife or your someone who's close to you and you say, you know what, I got this great idea, or I'm going to sign up for this class, or I'm going to do this, of course they're going to support you. They're going to say, you know what, that's a great idea, you should go and do that. And often a good mentor will actually challenge you, and they will make you question whether it's the right thing for you to do at that point. And you know what? It's easy to blow smoke up someone's ass. Let's be honest. It's easy to tell someone something that's going to say, you know what? You have this idea. Go ahead and do it. Go out there. It's another thing. It's much more difficult to stop someone in their tracks and say, wait a second. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about the fact of that? That's not easy to do. So someone that really cares about you is actually going to do that, because it's really difficult to do that. If it was easy to do that, then everyone would be giving positive and constructive feedback to everyone all the time. How do you find a mentor? The easiest way and the best way that for me that I have found to find a mentor in my experiences is actually going out and asking to be mentored. Obviously not doing it like, hey, you want to mentor me? Because that's a bit cheesy. Just being around that person, asking them tough questions, or coming to them with ideas, seeking out, expressing the fact that you're not, that you need help, that you want to be better, and that you're not sure how to get to a place where you are better. It's not easy being vulnerable. It's like, when you ask out a girl, right? You're putting yourself out there and you're being vulnerable. So in the same way, you're creating a relationship, or you're forming a relationship with a mentor, and so you really have to be vulnerable and say, you know what, I want to learn everything about this industry. I want to learn everything about leadership, and I admire you. I admire how you run your business. I admire how you run your life, and so if you can help me out a little bit here and there, then I would appreciate that. Keeping in mind that typically good mentors are very busy as well, and so being appreciative, being very thankful for any time that you do get from a mentor. Let's go ahead and talk about, once you've become a good mentee, how to be a good mentor, how to be someone who can shape someone else's life. So the first thing I want to say is understanding your tone and recognizing how you are delivering the messages that you are saying, because sometimes we don't recognize how we are saying certain things. You want to be firm, but also friendly. You want to be constructive and not harsh. And your tone is going to significantly impact how much you are helping the person that you are mentoring. Because if you're coming across as crass and preoccupied and not really willing to help, or just really being condescending, then who would be open to that type of feedback, right? No one would be open to that type of mentorship. The second thing for being a good mentor is not connecting the dots for the person you are mentoring. This is a mistake I made that when I was a manager, and I mean, I've been a mentor a few times, I've been a manager a few times, and I think looking back, probably one of the things I could have done better was allowing the person that I was mentoring to connect the dots for themselves, rather than being, well, you have to do A, B, and C and go on your way, because what that does is it makes you seem kind of preoccupied, it makes you seem, like a know-it-all, and no one wants to work with someone who's a know-it-all. So the alternative is to challenge the other person. Ask them a lot of questions, get them to start recognizing the challenges that they're having, and to pull out those challenges, and then to help them and guide them towards getting their answer. By being a good mentor and being a good training person, a good facilitator, you're actually sparking a conversation, you're making people reflect on their opinions, and you're actually questioning and challenging people to find out the answer for themselves. And why that's so effective is because we're more likely to appreciate and recognize the power of an answer when we are coming up with it ourselves rather than being told this. Finally, I think it's important to also recognize when you're mentoring someone, when they've reached their limits. Because it's difficult, when we're being challenged, when we're being mentored to be a better person, we're pushing our limits and we're thinking deeper about who we are, what our values and beliefs are. And so when you're mentoring someone, also recognize where their weaknesses are, their shortcomings are, and so that when they are being mentored, that you're not pushing them beyond their limits and overwhelming them, because that's gonna burn people out. They're gonna start to resent you. You're not going to be accomplishing the goal of a good mentor. I want to thank you for watching. This week you'll notice that we have the background track is a really awesome track. It's by one of my good buddies, Matt Luloff, retired Corporal Matthew Luloff, who he himself has been a great mentor to many people, and so I want to thank him. His band is still Sidi's, and I love this track, so thank you, Matt, for letting me use it on the video. You can visit Carving Your Niche to see all of the videos, and I want to thank you for watching. Stay positive, and I'll see you next week.